काजल उज़ा वैद्य। आप सब मुझे जानते हैं। मैं अपनी बातें कहती हूँ और पहुँचती हूँ आप तक। लेकिन आज इस वक्त मैं लेकर आई हूँ आइकॉन आरएमसी की कॉन्क्रीट बातें। ऐसी बातें जो आपने पहले नहीं सुनी। ऐसे लोगों से मिलेंगे जिन्होंने बनाया है इस शहर को, अहमदाबाद को। ऐसे लोग जिन्होंने एक एक इंट जोड़कर इस शहर को एक नई पहचान, एक नया चेहरा दिया है। ऐसे लोग जो एनवायरनमेंट के बारे में सोचते हैं। ऐसे लोग जिन पर विश्वास करके बहुत सारे लोग अपना घर, अपनी ऑफिस खरीदते हैं। यस, यू आर राइट। वी आर मीटिंग lot of builders, developers, designers, architects in this icon RMC concrete talks. तो आज हम मिलेंगे वीनस इंफ्रा के विनीत जी से। विनीत जी के अपने सपने हैं, अपने विचार हैं, अपने ख्याल हैं। ही इज जस्ट 24 and he's taken over the company and he has started working with his dad. तो चलिए मिलते हैं वीनस इंफ्रा के विनीत जी से। हाय विनीत जी।
Hello.
So good to see you.
Thank you so much.
And when I was told कि I'm going to meet you, I was expecting some middle-aged 35, 40-year-old person. And when I was introduced, I was said कि आप सब संभालने लगे हैं। तो इस छोटी सी उम्र में when you have started working, how do you feel?
I feel completely amazing. अभी तो सिर्फ baby steps लेना शुरू किया है. It's been 4 years now, but slowly and gradually scaling up. हर रोज़ आप जैसे इंटरेस्टिंग लोगों से मुलाकात करेंगे, बहुत सारी चीज़ें और जानने मिलेगी। यही है बस लाइफ फिलहाल तो।
ग्रेट। मैंने देखा है नई जनरेशन के बच्चे जो अभी 24-25 के हैं, उनको पेरेंट्स के बिजनेस के साथ काम नहीं करना है। दे वॉन्ट टू स्टार्ट समथिंग ऑफ देयर ओन। मुझे ये नहीं करना है, मुझे वो नहीं करना है। सो हाउ डिड यू डिसाइड टू जॉइन योर फादर्स बिजनेस?
सबके अपने अपने विचार होते हैं। मेरा हमेशा से यही था दैट आई वांट टू गेट इनटू माय फैमिली बिजनेस बिकॉज आई हैव ऑलवेज सीन माय फादर एंड माय अंकल वर्किंग। सो मैं हमेशा से उनको देखता आया हूँ और मुझे हमेशा से आई बीन वेरी वेरी इंस्पायर्ड बाय देयर वे ऑफ वर्किंग, देयर हम्बल रिस्पॉन्स इन द मार्केट और they've just been like my dream कि मुझे उन दोनों के जैसा ही बनना है लाइफ में। सो उसके लिए मैं हमेशा से ही वीनस से बहुत ही ज़्यादा associated था एज अ चाइल्ड ऑल्सो। आई यूज टू लव द बिल्डिंग्स दैट माई फादर मेक्स, एटलांटिस, देयर इज पार्कलैंड, सो ऑल ऑफ देम हैव बीन आइकॉनिक। मैं हमेशा से जब भी बचपन में सुनता था एटलांटिस बहुत बढ़िया बिल्डिंग लग रही है, सो मैं भी सोचता था कि मैं बड़े होकर मैं भी ऐसी बिल्डिंग बनाऊंगा।
वंडरफुल।
या
So you entered as a boss. There was no struggle as such for your career. So when you entered Venus office, Venus Infra office, and when you started working, what are the basic difficulties or struggle on your part? Maybe not the struggle to make the company, but to make your place in the company. So what were those struggles that you would love to mention?
सबसे बड़ी स्ट्रगल यही है दैट आई एम एंटरिंग विथ नो एक्सपीरियंस into such a big empire. So that's the biggest struggle because when you're starting something from scratch, you get to do everything by yourself. You make your teams, you set up the base, right? Whereas the base is already set here. और मुझे एक्सपीरियंस नहीं है कोई भी चीज़ का बिकॉज मैं एक फ्रेशर, एक कॉमर्स ग्रेजुएट से आके मैं सीधा इतने सारे 100 लोगों की टीम में मुझे हैंडल करने की, बिकॉज आई एम next to my father, seen as next to my father, right?
Right.
So to do everything from the base, that's the most challenging thing. So that's where you require a lot of going back to basics, being on the ground and learning. So आपको जो प्लेटफॉर्म मिला है, आप डायरेक्टली उसमें रूल करना शुरू कर देंगे सीखे बिना, तो शायद ग्रोथ नहीं होगी, शायद लोग आपको उतना रिस्पेक्ट नहीं करेंगे क्योंकि if you just go by ruling, if you just go by saying आप ये कर दो वो कर दो without actually knowing, so काफ़ी बार ऐसा हो सकता है कि आपको ही नहीं पता चले कि आपके लोग कब आपको when if they are doing right or not for the company. So
कैसे सीखे, क्या सीखे?
बस फादर को देख देख के, नए लोगों से मिल मिल के, बातें कर कर के, फेलियर्स के साथ, बहुत सारे फेलियर्स के साथ, आज भी फेलियर्स होते हैं, कल भी फेलियर्स होनी है और मैं रेडी हूँ उस चीज़ के लिए। जैसे कि आपने कहा कि आपको सब कुछ रेडीली मिला, सबसे बड़ा एडवांटेज वही है कि मुझे सब कुछ रेडीली मिला. डेफिनेटली दैट इज़ ग्रेट एंड आई एम ब्लेस्ड फॉर दैट. बट एक ड्रॉबैक भी ये है दैट आपने वो लाइफ हार्डवर्क स्ट्रगल वो सब मैंने देखा ही नहीं है. सो आई विश के मुझे वो भी एक बार देखने. डेफिनेटली आई वॉन्ट टू लर्न दैट स्ट्रगल, हाउ टू डू दैट.
You will. Any business goes through up and down, so
Absolutely,
eventually
absolutely,
you will.
definitely.
So if you, as a builder, want to think of a design, what is your dream design that you want to create?
A dream design that I want to create is something that I've already imagined. Ahmedabad, as per it's one of the hottest cities of the world, right? So I want to create a design which is very very sustainable and it's environment friendly, right? Because everyone in Ahmedabad, they're like they live in a world where there are ordinary buildings everywhere. We see nowadays we are seeing a lot of new age development, which is futuristic projects are coming up. Young developers are bringing in more innovations. So that is where even I'm headed to, and I have a futuristic design, which is my own dream design in my mind, which I definitely would like to. Right now, if I want to tell you guys, हम लोग गिफ्ट सिटी में जो प्रोजेक्ट ला रहे हैं,
जी.
so people will see that in the project, what I dream to. They will see a glimpse of that.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So if, as a buyer, if you go to the market, and if you have to buy an office or a home, which developer will you choose besides Venus?
Honestly, I don't think anywhere else, because whatever we built at Venus, it's actually envisioned with our own lifestyles. We travel a lot. We see what is there outside Ahmedabad. We take that inspiration and we fill in that gap by providing what's really missing for the people, right? For example, Stratum at Venus Grounds, the recently completed landmark building of ours.
So what is special about Stratum?
It's a pre-certified platinum-rated green building. So
And what does it mean, if you can tell me to my
platinum. So green buildings are where you have to basically आपको थोड़े norms follow करने हैं, features that you have to provide in the building. For example, fresh air, right? So we've provided fresh air in the offices. You can get fresh air. So उसमें क्या होता है that your life, it becomes smoother. You feel better while you're in your office.
In your office.
Right. So this is just a small example of what I'm telling you, right? So ऐसी सब बहुत सारी चीज़ें हैं जो हम लोग innovation लाते हैं. They're made with some sustainable materials that are there, and we've tried to make it as green as possible. We've brought in a lot of new innovations in that. For example, we've provided 5-level basements for parking.
Wonderful.
So we've gone 5 levels down, because Ahmedabad was seeing a lot of parking issues. So we've provided one full basement for just visitors parking, because
Which
we
is
knew
the
that
best thing, because everywhere you go, stop, and the moment you park, the watchman comes and says, no, 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 not parking.
Exactly. So a lot of times when we used to go out for family dinners, we couldn't find parking and hence just leave off. So everyone was facing the same issue, and we thought of providing such lot of USPs and amenities. For example, because of our environment, we've provided all sides double glazed windows or glass,
So that the UV rays can.
so that the UV rays is less, so that there's less traffic noise coming inside your office, so that you're in a better working environment, you're more efficient. Such lot of USPs are there in the building.
As a builder, now that you are in the business and in the market, you must be meeting lot of people, lot of builders, lot of other company people who are representing their companies. Where do you see Venus as a different company, or where do you see your company standing differently than others?
For Venus, it's very basic. For us, it's always been excellency over success. If you've seen, we've only created landmarks, and that's our vision. We're not into making कि भाई मुझे आज नया project करना है. We've never been of that ideology. if we have something that हम लोग यहाँ पे landmark बना सकते हैं, that this location is ideal for a landmark project, we'll step in, because our expertise is basically, which is my father's core expertise, is how to make better buildings for the city, how to provide the city a dream skyline.
Yes. So now that you are talking about the city, how is Ahmedabad real estate market is different than Delhi, Bombay, Bangalore, or any other metro?
Ahmedabad, being a tier 2 city, Ahmedabad is still developing. If I talk about the development in Ahmedabad, it's scaling up very fast, but we are still quite far in terms of infrastructure, or in terms of let's say number of projects or better projects. But that's now scaling up, taking inspiration from such cities, from international cities. Best part of ours is that we have a lot of land, which is good, which is great, because it gives us a lot of opportunity. We don't unnecessarily have to create two cramped up buildings which are just tall. Not necessarily all tall buildings are. It's I mean, they look good, definitely.
Of course they do.
Yeah, but it takes a lot of time to construct them. So we're still blessed that there's a lot of land remaining in Ahmedabad. So that's how Ahmedabad's real estate market is different.
And how are you different than rest of the people who have come into the business? How do you see yourself different?
I see myself differently because I don't necessarily conflict with my previous generation's opinions. That's what I've seen in the market right now. All the young aged, a lot of my friends also, they want to do something of their own, which is great. And even sure, if I can do the same, it'll be great. But I am just completely on the lines of my father's vision, and I am basically pushing myself to basically complete his vision.
So, isn't it beautiful, very interesting that every time the previous generation is not wrong, every time the previous generation is not old fashioned. They do have their experiences to share, and I think I love this about him, that he's saying that I am following my father's vision. So I think this is where I see Vineet so different, that he is following, he is ready to share the experience, he is ready to take the experience. So also Vineet, I want to ask you, you have a large family, as you said, and a lot of people in your family are looking at you, looking up to you. So whom do you look up to?
In my family,
Yes.
see, honestly, I'm looking up to a lot of people in my family, because I think I can learn from everyone. I learn from my smaller cousins also, which are who are studying right now. Something I learn from them is how to make friends. Sometimes I learn from them is how to be mischievous. From my uncle, I've learned a lot of skills, how to treat people, even if whatever they do. I've learned a lot from my cousin also, who's currently taking care of the construction part of the engineering department of. So he gets his hands dirty every day, and it's so much. It's very interesting to see that, because I am sitting in this office, right? I'm here for 8-9 hours, whatever, and he's actually doing the hard work. So there's this sort of inspiration also कि यार ये तो मतलब पूरे टाइम हम लोग तो क्या इसी में बैठे हुए हैं पूरे टाइम, he's on the site, he's handling so many people, because he's taking care of all the labors also. So it's very good to see that.
So what are the qualities you think your dad has and you have imbibed? We all carry our DNA. So what are the things that you have imbibed from your dad?
Rather than qualities, I'd say it's the skills. Whenever I see him today dealing with people, negotiating with people, I'm awestruck, and I'm like, this is what I really want to learn. And I think I'm still taking those baby steps, and it's gonna take me a while to get there.
So what are your hobbies? At your age, all want to chill out, all want to have fun, and you are in the office working 8-9 hours. So what are your after hours that you do?
I've got a lot of hobbies, but I'm usually pursuing them whenever I'm traveling. I'm on a vacation.
How many vacations do you take in a year?
Multiple vacations actually. because it's also abided by a lot of social life also, because it's a large family that I live in. So it's basically talking to friends or listening to music or going out for drives whenever I'm in Ahmedabad. But if I'm traveling, a lot of adventure sports that I really love to do.
So have you done bungee jumping?
Yeah,
Where?
in New Zealand.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And were you scared?
I was not scared, I was excited.
Oh, wonderful. So what are the moments where you got actually scared?
I got actually scared while skydiving.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you get scared in the office sometimes?
I do get
When
scared.
some pressure comes on
I
you?
do get scared. A lot of times, every day I get scared.
Oh.
Yeah.
So what are those moments when you feel pressured, when you feel that you are answerable? Sometimes ऐसा लगता है कि अरे यार नहीं हो पाएगा.
I'm answerable to my father, and I'm scared of him. Every day I'm scared of him.
You're scared of him.
Yeah.
So is he short-tempered?
No, he's not short-tempered. But if I have to get something done on time, or if I have to do something on time, and if I have 10 different things on my plate, and if I'm unable to do 2 or 3 things or 4 things, I don't know. I mean, sometimes there are days when I have a checklist which is of 10 things. I'm able to do nothing out of those. So on that day, I'm scared of my father.
So how do you feel then?
I'm like, थोड़ी डांट खा लेंगे, but फिर सीख के.
And what about your mom? What is she doing?
My mother, she's a homemaker.
Wonderful.
But whenever I'm scared of my father, my mother is my savior. Basically, I just
Savior,
give her a
she
call.
comes over.
मेरे से काम नहीं हुआ, कोई बात नहीं बेटी.
Like any other mother, I'm
like
sure.
any other mother, definitely.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
And what are the qualities you have imbibed from her?
So she's very bold and she's highly confident. She never does or says wrong. I mean, whenever, even if she has to get the most challenging work to be done, I really admire her skills. She's amazing at that. She can get anything done from
Wonderful.
anyone.
Wonderful. I think all mothers have this basic quality
Yeah.
of having work done.
Yeah,
So I just heard you are getting married.
yeah,
Do you see the same qualities in your life partner?
absolutely, absolutely.
Is it an arranged marriage or love marriage?
No, it's not an arranged marriage, but definitely whenever two families are, they are getting associated, that's the biggest part. That's the best part. Rather than two people, it's the two families that are getting married.
So when you look back, Vineet, and when you look, जब मुड़ के देखते हैं पिछले बीते हुए सालों को, now that you are 24?
24, yeah.
24. So when you look back and जब सोचते हैं कि ये जो जर्नी 24 इयर्स की आप करके आए, 15-18 साल के विनीत को क्या एडवाइस देना चाहेंगे?
अभी मैं जो हूँ और मैं जो पहले था, that huge difference. I was a very different kid back then. I was not I didn't have this confidence what I'm having right now when I'm talking to you. मैं आपसे उस टाइम पे 10 बार पूछा होता कि मैं क्या बोलूँगा, because I was a very different kid back then.
So what changed you? What was the changing point that came in your life? और लगा कि हाँ बदलना होगा या यहीं से बदलाव शुरू हुआ?
Experience at Venus. These past 5 years, meeting
So you
so many
started
people.
working at 20 almost?
I started working at 19 when I was in my second year of college.
Okay.
So I started
And were
working.
you happy coming to office then or
I
not
was really happy. The first 6 months were a little difficult for me because
Were you compelled कि आना ही होगा ऑफिस कि आपने खुद कहा कि मुझे जाना है?
नहीं, मैंने खुद से मुझे जाना है because I wanted to learn. And मैं समझता हूँ बिजनेस आपको कोई कॉलेज या कोई यूनिवर्सिटी नहीं सिखा सकती. इट्स द एक्सपीरियंस दैट विल ओनली टीच यू. सो आई वॉज बाउंड टू दैट. एंड whenever I used to be here for the first 6 months, my father used to tell me कि मैं तुझे कुछ सिखाऊंगा नहीं, तुझे जो सीखना है बैठ के खुद ही सीखना है, पूछ के सीखना है. सो पहले 6 महीने तो आई यूज टू गेट वेरी बोर्ड इन द मीटिंग्स. मुझे नींद आती थी मीटिंग्स बिकॉज आई डिडंट यूज टू अंडरस्टैंड एनीथिंग. ये लोग क्या डिस्कशन कर रहे हैं, इट्स गोइंग थ्रू माई हेड. सो मैं सवाल भी क्या पूछूँ? आई डोंट इवन रिमेंबर द टेक्निकल स्टफ दैट दे स्पोक 5 minutes ago. सो आई यूज टू टेक नोट्स ऑन माई फोन एंड देन रात को मैं मेरे फादर से 10 सवाल पूछता था. सो आई यूज टू गेट हैप्पी दैट चाहे 10 सवाल पूछे, अब जो मैं बता रहा हूँ उसको याद रखना. सो आई यूज टू राइट इट डाउन एंड आई slowly and gradually, when I used to meet people, I used to discuss about those things that my father spoke about with someone else. So yeah, it went like, it started like
So
that.
अब जब यहाँ हैं और यहाँ से आगे की जर्नी हम देख रहे हैं, 15-18 साल के विनीत को क्या एडवाइस देना चाहेंगे?
15-18 साल के विनीत को मैं यही बोलूँगा कि 15-18 साल के विनीत को अपने आप को
So where do you see yourself after 5 years?
I see myself after 5 years as a more disciplined, as a more sincere man who's going to be more responsible, definitely, because down the line, I want my father to be more relaxed and little retired. I mean, I said little retired because he can never get retired.
Of course.
So, तब मैं this empire I want to handle on my own. I just want my father to be my savior. जब भी मुझे कुछ लगे, decisions I want to take with his definitely consent.
So, how is Ahmedabad different than other cities like Bombay or Delhi or Bangalore or Chennai, other metros? Especially real estate.
So Ahmedabad, if you talk about current times, it has a lot of eyeballs from all over the country. Specifically talking about GIFT, it is the only IFSC of this country, right? So if you see, Google has just announced their office at GIFT City. If you see the SGX Nifty, which was the Singapore Nifty, it has been now renamed as GIFT Nifty.
GIFT Nifty.
Because they're going to have their office there now. So, which is a proud moment for our city. Even though it's a tier 2 city, it's scaling up really fast and it's improving at a very good pace. Hence, we're all looking forward to contribute towards that push which is required for the city, because we as developers, we have great power, which gives us great responsibilities. So that's how Ahmedabad is different. We have more opportunity here. We have more land here.
More opportunity in the sense of?
As in, it's still developing, and in terms of, you talk about number of developers versus number of top developers is very less. So there's more people and there's less number of reputed developers.
So as an Indian developer or as an Indian market, if you look at, or Indian buyer if you look at, or Indian designs if you look at, what is your take, or how do you think that the Indian market is different than the world market?
The Indian market is definitely very diverse, because there are few cities which are completely, they need a lot of scaling up, they need a lot of basic infrastructural improvements, versus there are cities like Bangalore or Pune or let's say GIFT City in Ahmedabad, which are really seen by the world also as in terms of development. Mumbai or Bangalore has some iconic projects which are globally recognized. Ahmedabad has some projects which are nationally recognized. So that's how the Indian market is different. It's very diverse and it's growing at a very fast pace. Although we need a lot of push in general, and we are getting that support and that push by our government. So yeah.
So as Indian government policies have changed and they have made more liberal policies for the builders, and the rules have been changed for the people who really want to develop the city. As a young developer, how do you see government policies, or how do you value them?
So the government policies right now, if you see, it's very simple. Earlier, the development was happening. Right now, it's far better, and a lot of more development is happening. A lot of better opportunities are there. So it's as simple as that.
So like bringing GIFT City to Ahmedabad has given a lot of opportunities to people.
It has definitely given a lot of opportunities. It has given us global recognition, so which is fantastic.
So Gujarat is now on world map.
It is on world map, definitely.
And that's because of government policies, isn't it?
That is because of government policies, or it was more like it was prone to happen.
So I'm glad that new people are coming in, fresh blood is coming.
Which will also teach us developers quite a lot, which will get us in the straight line if we are not heading earlier, because you will have to be better there than what you are right now. You'll have to be on that global notch of development.
Correct. New ideas, new thoughts, new designs have to come in.
Yeah,
and environment also has to be taken care of.
Your quality will have to be superior from what you were providing
earlier.
So that the local buyers also, or the consumers, they look up to you, they build more trust in you,
and they compare you.
They compare
now,
you.
Now it is also because of the global market. People
Absolutely.
compare you, your quality, your work, your designs.
So let's say if you get an opportunity to develop at Gift, or you're already developing at Gift, what you learn from there, you implement in Ahmedabad, so that you can provide better lifestyle to the people here. And we are all majorly like us, like developers. As developers, we are lifestyle enhancers.
Right.
That is our core value.
Right.
So we believe in that quite a lot.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful. And what would you advise the people who are of your age and entering the business?
Listen to your father.
That's wonderful. Listen to your father is the advice I think every child should understand. And I am so happy that you got it right at the right age. So thank you so much. And now we enter the second segment, which is a very interesting segment. मैं एक शब्द कहूंगी और वो शब्द सुनकर उनके दिमाग में सबसे पहला ख्याल क्या आता है ये हम देखेंगे. जैसे कि मैं कहती हूं ब्लू, क्या ख्याल आएगा? शर्ट, बादल, पेन, इंक. हर एक इंसान के दिमाग में एक शब्द सुनकर कुछ अलग से ख्याल आता है. So in this segment I am going to ask him 10 words and let's see what he thinks of those 10 words. तो चलिए बात करते हैं विनीत जी से. चलिए, I'll give you one word, विनीत जी, and you will have to answer me in one word. When I tell you one word, what is the first thought that comes to your mind listening to that word?
Sure.
Go on.
Yes.
Okay. Ready? Happiness.
Every day.
Wonderful. Ahmedabad.
Best.
Wonderful. Success.
Excellence.
Nepotism.
I don't know. I don't know what to say for that.
Okay. Innovation.
Venus.
Regret.
None.
Stress.
Not that I could think of.
So these were the icons, iconic take. Nepotism is a word which I think not important. हम कितने सारे स्टार्स के बच्चों को फेल होते हुए देख रहे हैं और उनको देखने के बाद ये बात समझ में आती है कि सक्सेस किसी को रेडीमेड नहीं मिलती. हाँ, प्लेटफॉर्म मिल सकता है लेकिन सक्सेस तो खुद ही पानी पड़ती है. हाँ, हो सकता है कि आपको रेडी प्लेटफॉर्म मिल जाए जहाँ आपके पास संघर्ष नहीं, स्ट्रगल नहीं, लेकिन ऑफिस में बैठने के बाद अपने आप को प्रूव करने के लिए हर एक इंसान को खुद ही मेहनत करनी पड़ती है. एंड दैट इज व्हाट आइकॉन इज ट्राइंग टू ब्रिंग यू. सो लेट्स टॉक अबाउट द सेक्शन 3. Now I am bringing you the third section, which is called Icons, Iconic Answers. We are meeting all icons at Icon RMC Concrete Talks. And this Icon RMC's Concrete Talks में मैं पूछूंगी सवाल. उस सवाल के जवाब में हमारे आइकॉन्स क्या सोचते हैं ये मैं आप तक ले आऊंगी. ये जवाब उनके हैं, उनके विचार हैं और उनके ख्याल हैं. Everyone will have different thought on different question. So let's see what Vineet ji from Venus Infra has to answer on my iconic questions. Ready? You will have only 5 seconds.
Sure.
Okay. What is the scariest thing you have ever done?
The scariest thing I've ever done is not be prepared before a final exam.
And you just went.
I just went.
And what happened then?
I don't want to tell you the results.
Okay. Show that you are binge watching right now.
Entourage.
Okay.
Which is
and
my,
what is so special about that show?
Which has been my favorite show since I was a teenager. And the bond of those friends, it's what's really special. So I've been binge watching that.
Is there any illegal thing you have ever done?
Illegal thing that I've ever done? Lot of things, lot of times.
Breaking signals.
Breaking signals, yeah, a couple of them. And just maybe traffic rules in Ahmedabad.
That's it?
That's it.
At your age, I don't think I want to believe you.
Sure.
I'm sure बहुत सारे लोग बहुत सारी इलीगल चीजें करते हैं. At least he admits कि उसने ट्रैफिक रूल्स तोड़े. one dish that you can eat for the rest of your life. कभी भी मन नहीं भरता, ऐसी ऐसी कोई डिश जिससे आपका मन कभी नहीं भरता.
बहुत सारी चीज़ें हैं, पर आई थिंक खिचड़ी इज
Oh, wonderful.
व्हाट आई रियली लाइक टू ईट. यू कैन,
माँ की बनाई हुई खिचड़ी.
वो ज़रूरी नहीं है. कहीं बाहर होंगे तो डेफिनेटली.
Okay. One person that you look up in your life.
It's gonna be it's not actually one person, more than one person. It's gonna be
But if you have to say just one person.
just one person. There's no one person. It's gonna be my mother then, because she teaches me how to balance things out in life, which is the most important.
So you're mama's boy in a way.
Sure. Yeah. There's
What's
no
wrong
problem with
about it?
There's nothing wrong about
There's
it.
nothing
Yeah,
wrong about being
nothing wrong
mama's
about
boy.
it.
The best piece of architecture that you have ever seen in your life.
It's a very interesting project in Amsterdam. It's called The Valley. It's by Edge Technologies. It's a very new age design, which it's
What
like
is so special about it?
The most special part about it is that it doesn't look like a commercial project or a residential project at all. It looks like a resort, and the structure of the building, it has a lot of uniqueness. When you see it, you'll know it.
One misconception about developer everyone has.
Majorly in India, the misconception about developers is that we won't deliver, because we've had this reputation since way long, right? And
We as developers,
we as developers,
as a fraternity.
as a fraternity, not me individually, but as a
Right.
fraternity, all over the country, that we won't deliver, that we will steal the money, and there's a lot of more stuff that the perceptions people have right now. But all of us, we are on our way to improve that by promising and actually delivering what we promise, or also sometimes delivering more than what we've promised.
So wonderful. As a young generation, you will change this misconception about developers or the builders, and I'm sure you will do that.
I'll try to put in as many as efforts I can.
Wonderful. You're too young though, but if someone is writing your autobiography, what title could you think of?
Always be a learner.
Always be a learner.
Always be a learner.
Learner always?
Learner always. Yeah.
Wonderful. One best advice that you ever received, one line. Like these days I was traveling Tanzania and we had some problem in visa, and somebody said, very, very interesting say he came with. He said that ignorance is no defense. And I think in my life this line has so many meanings. So such one line that you can think of and tell me that this is the line. One advice that I'll never forget and follow all my life.
Never say no. And there's another line which is really interesting, is always be a great listener. Because if you're able to absorb and listen more and more, people will look up to you more, and you'll definitely be more aware, you'll be more calmer in your life if you have that capacity to listen.
Wonderful. Yeah. So be a great listener.
Be a great listener.
Thank you. And the last question, Vineet, I'll ask you is, if not a developer, what would you have been?
I would have been a sports person.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah. What sports do you play?
Right now I'm not playing anything specific, but earlier I used to love playing cricket. But
Were you trained in cricket?
I did not train extremely professionally or anything, but I used to love playing, and yeah, I've
You're
taken.
Still a good cricketer?
Not anymore. I wouldn't say that, because I'm not being regularly playing. But earlier as a child, yeah, I used to play very regularly, and yeah, I used to participate in tournaments as well.
And before we close, yeah, I want to ask you the last question. What at Venus Infra would you like to tell the city, the buyer, the market, and all other people who look up to Venus in their own way?
Okay. So, जो भी हमारे यहाँ पे as a group, Venus group की impression जो है, that they are a very strong group and they are a very bold group in terms of development. So जो भी हमारे साथ आज जुड़ना चाह रहे हैं, क्योंकि आप लोग आपकी लाइफ का सब कुछ हमको दे रहे हो, आपने जो आपकी अर्निंग्स है, आपका जो टाइम आप लोगों ने दिया है. सो हम लोग हमेशा यही चाहेंगे दैट उस चीज़ की रिस्पेक्ट हाईएस्ट रहे हमारे लिए, राइट. सो दैट इज़ व्हाट वी एम टू, दैट नेवर लेट यू डाउन.
Wonderful.
या
So he's got the platform, but he's ready to struggle. He's got the dream that he's ready to work for. हम मिले विनीत जी से from Venus Infra. Icons RMC's new iconic talk, concrete talk, will come to you with new episode. Wait till then.